me stop it. Hi, this is Steve Momorella with TEKGROUP.
And Dan Criscenti with TV Weekly Now.
And we're here today presenting the weekly social TV update. We've got a bunch of great stories for you. Dan and myself have known each other for a long time, and we have a significant experience in digital entertainment and corporate communications, and kind of the blending of social media and TV is a perfect fit for the both of us to share some ideas on what's going on in the industry. And so each week our goal will be to provide you with some insight and analysis on what's going on in the industry. Start this week with a story from Connect TV, which is a company that is getting ready to conduct a study on social TV and kind of second screen viewing behavior. And Dan, you're familiar with this company. It looks like a pretty cool idea here, and both you and I love to get our hands on research, so I'm sure we'll be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, there's no question. You know, as we've been talking about, there are just so many studies being done in this area right now, simply because the industry is still young and folks are trying to sort it out. This is one of a number of studies that are being fielded on second screen behavior, and we're going to be keeping a close eye on the results here. Again, everybody's trying to just soak up as much information as they can, and try and make some sense out of where the industry's headed here at this young junction.
Definitely.
Juncture.
Another story here is Jenny, who's a popular kind of recommendations for TVs and movies, and they've kind of looks like they've made an announcement with this new program called Watch Together, which is kind of them dipping their toe into the idea of social as it applies to discovery and recommendations for TV shows. This will be a fun one to watch. Jenny's a great organization.
Yeah, this is a really strong offering from a great company out of Israel. Ginny, as far as I'm concerned, is the leader in providing correlated recommendations around television shows and television programming, and they just do a really nice job of doing just that, of making recommendations and correlated recommendations, doing it in a way that's really simple and fun and easy to use. To me, this is just a natural for them to segue into the social side and allow people that find programming through them to then get into the next level and sort of enhance their engagement with the show by going social. So to me, this makes perfect sense for Ginny, and yeah, these guys seem to be headed in the right direction.
Next up is a company that hopefully we're all familiar with in the social TV space. One of the kind of big players is Vigil, and they just announced that they've reached 3 million registered users. And we were talking about this before, and you know, we look at something like Facebook having 1 billion users and Twitter having almost 200 million users. That 3 million, I guess, relatively isn't that big, but it is still a pretty big announcement to know that they've got that big of a fan base so early on in this industry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Vigil user and have been for a while. Hats off to them for hitting 3 million. As you said, Steve, it doesn't sound like much these days when you're at 3 million users, but again, we're still looking at an industry that is relatively young. You get thought leaders jumping into it, early adopters jumping into it, and the industry's still trying to sort things out, as well as consumers in terms of what they want. But for Vigil to hit 3 million, I think at this stage is you know, is notable, and again, congratulations to them. You know, I'll even say I was one of the 3 million who were on the other night and trying to check into Big Bang, and had to go try it 3 times because I'm sure that their servers were being taxed with a number of people hitting their service. And you know, Steve, as you and I know, we've been down this road before, and that's one of the things you run into when you have some success is a little latency there. So I'm sure Vigil will get that sorted out. But yeah, again, congratulations to them for hitting 3 million. I think it shows that again, at an early stage, that that second screening really has legs.
Definitely. Another story in this area is Netflix, kind of another powerhouse that started out, I think, more as a DVD distribution, then they kind of moved into streaming, and now they are getting into the social TV angle, and they just announced plans to expand into the Netherlands. And Dan, you and I were talking before the show about this kind of expansion, and I really thought that the U.S. was kind of the leader in this social TV space, the far and away leader. But after talking with you and doing some research, it is obvious that Europe is really all over this, and this is just kind of a natural thing for Netflix to kind of expand to this hotbed area in Northern Europe.
Yeah, I think it really is. I mean, the fact is that several European countries have really taken a leadership position in the social TV arena and have been at it longer than we have in the U.S. in a big way. So there are a lot of lessons to be learned from these other countries, especially Northern European countries. Although I will say, there are others. The UK is very strong on the social side. Italy is very strong on the social TV side. So there's plenty to learn from those guys, and we should be keeping a close eye on them. Clearly Netflix is just moving into the next phase of what they should be doing naturally anyway, which is further internationalization of their service offering. This Netflix clearly has got a lot of great things going with original content and distribution globally now. They're just going to get stronger. These guys just seem like they've got a very clear picture, pardon the pun, of where they want to go, and they're just driving that growth. So, yeah, I expect to see a lot more great things out of Netflix.
Definitely. Next one, the last two stories here, are really about video. We talk about content and everything being king, and video, it seems, everything from full-length motion pictures to, half-hour sitcoms, then we're all the way down to minute and 30-second commercials. And now with applications like Vine that Twitter owns, and this announcement from Facebook about Instagram now accepting or managing video down to 6-second clips, it just seems like it's getting shorter and shorter to get your message out there. And from the corporate communication side where I sit, it is kind of a challenge to try to get a press kit in there in a short video clip, or to talk about a product, or to talk about something. But we're trying to find ways to do that. And I imagine in the entertainment side and the TV side that you're in, Dan, it's equally a challenge, but also there's tons of opportunities.
Yeah, and I think people just need to think about who they're reaching at what time and on which device. For example, and the photo that you're showing, I think, is a great illustration of this. These very short videos are going to play on handhelds and primarily phones, where people are looking at quick little video snippets or news or weather or their email. They're just getting quick updates. And a 6-second video might deliver really all you need to get a quick message across to someone. So people are going to need to start programming to this. And consequently, yeah, advertisers and marketers are going to need to start programming to that 6-second time frame as well. It's going to be a challenge, but something like anything else, it's going to create a bunch of new creative thinking and some things that we hadn't thought about, and it'll be fun to watch.
Absolutely. And then our last story here, kind of in that same idea of a company called Grabio, where they've this idea, really, I think I first saw it with National Hockey League and Major League Baseball, where at the end of a game they would post 10 or 12 small video clips that you could stitch together into your own highlight reel and then forward that off to your friends. And it looks like this is kind of taking that to the next level with Grabio doing that for kind of TV shows. And so, wrap it up here with the last story.
Yeah.
Kind of your thoughts on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love this, and this kind of goes back to an earlier conversation we had, or earlier mention before, about what's going on in Europe. They're showing what's happening in Britain and Ireland with Next Top Model and Grabio here as an example. But I love this idea of being able to take a snippet of a show and being able to share it to someone. It's just taking the social nature of television programming or the social opportunities within television programming to the next level. And I think you're really going to see people getting active with these kinds of things where you can share a snippet with a comment. That's just headed in the right direction in my mind, and I think people are going to gravitate to tools like this. I think this is a great idea, definitely headed down the right path. So yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on these guys.
For sure. Well, that's about it for today. Well, we appreciate it. This is Steve Momorella with TEKGROUP,
and Dan Criscenti with TV Weekly Now.
And we look forward to stay tuned next week. We'll have a whole batch of news stories, and don't forget to check in, and we'll be tweeting this out as well over the weeks, and we appreciate it listening. Thank you very much.
Thanks. See you again.